record. All right, we're going to go ahead. The first half of this call will be teaching you some tips to hit Success Club last minute. Today is January 29th. We've got 3 days left to do it. It's totally possible. We can all repeat that. It's totally possible. So first half, like I said, we're going to share some tips, tricks, things that have worked for us in the past. If anyone has anything they'd like to share after we go through and share what we had planned, then please feel free to share that. And then we'll spend the second half of this call doing it and implementing and actually making Success Club happen. So I will hand it over to Lauren to start us off.
Okay. So in case you don't know me, or you are newer, or you haven't been around for a while, let me start by saying I am like the queen of hitting Success Club at the last second. And I'm not saying this because I recommend you do this, but this is just how it's been. Since I started as a coach, I work multiple other jobs. I don't coach full-time. I am always between rehearsals and work and dog sitting. I'm dog sitting right now. I'm all over the place all the time. My life is a crazy cyclone disaster always. So sometimes this is just how it happens. So again, I'm not recommending you do this. It's much less stressful if you just try to hit Success Club at the beginning of the month, but it happens. So being realistic about it, number one is you need to make Success Club a non-negotiable part of your business. If you have any sort of business goals, you need to hit Success Club. That is the bare minimum of what you need to do. And despite the fact that my life is as crazy as I just described it, I have never missed a month of Success Club in my entire career as a coach, which has been about 2.5 years now. And I'll just mention this because it's a funny story, but we always talk about, there was literally a month where on the very last day of the month, I was standing in the middle of the desert in Las Vegas in a bridesmaid's dress in a wedding, signing someone up, hitting Success Club. So when I say non-negotiable, it means non-negotiable. It doesn't mean oh, I'm going to say it's non-negotiable, but then if it doesn't happen, whatever, no big deal. It is a big deal, and you need to just right away put it in your brain it is a big deal. That being said, something that I like to use to hit Success Club at the end of the month, I'm going to give you some action steps that you can do. So I do a few things. God, sorry. Hopefully that's not too loud. I'm not even in my own house and still listening to this. I'm going to just move out of maybe his line of vision and that will help. Okay. So what I like to do at the end of the month, in the last 3 days of the month or so this is perfect timing right now, is I will post very, very specifically in order to get people to sign up. So the first thing I'll do today, so you're going to do this today because you want to set this up, like I said, in the order so that it's effective. But I will go back and I will figure out what the biggest objection I heard for that month during my invites was. So whether it was money or it was time or whatever other things, I know those are two of the big ones. I will figure out what my biggest objection that I was hearing that month. It seems to be a pattern where throughout the year you'll hear kind of specific objections, specific months, just based on what's going on at that time of year. So for example, this month I heard I'm too busy probably 160 times from different people. So the first thing I'll do about 3 or 4 days before the end of the month, so that's why you're going to do this tonight, is I will post an objection post publicly talking about whatever it was the biggest objection was. So I'm literally about to post, as soon as I'm done talking here, I'm about to post my time objection post. So I will make a post about essentially why being too busy is like not a valid reason for not taking care of yourself. Or if it's money objections you've been hearing a lot this month, then I would post about the value of what you have, the value of Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology, right? Like, I know I did this a while ago as a money objection post where I sat down and I calculated the amount of money I used to spend on vitamins that weren't even doing anything for my body every single month, on top of all the coffee I was buying and all like the really like crappy protein shakes I was drinking and stuff. And I posted about that, and it ended up being that I was saving like over $200 a month. So sit down and figure out what you're saving by having Beachbody On Demand and not paying $70 a month for a gym membership and not paying for one of your meals every day and not paying for all those vitamins and protein shakes and protein bars and all that stuff, and make your post about that if you've been hearing the money objection. So that's number one. And then the following day, so like tomorrow, I will post a transformation photo, either of myself or one of my challengers. And this can be a physical transformation or an emotional transformation. You can also, if you're a new coach, we have transformation albums in our team pages. And you are welcome to take any of those photos from there and just be like, oh my God, can you believe the results my friend Carolyn got from doing our group? Or, you know, whoever it is, you can take the results from someone on our team, use their name. You don't have to tag them in it, but use their name. Like, we're all on a team. We're here to help each other. We're here to support each other. You can use those photos if you're a new coach or if you haven't had your own transformation yet. So I'll do a transformation post, and then in that transformation post, I will have an invite to my upcoming challenge group, and there will be urgency in the invite. Like, we are starting this week, or we are starting this weekend, or signups are closing by Wednesday if you're trying to sign people up by the end of this month. So I'll do that. And then the second post I'll make that day, so tomorrow, is a story share. Like, get emotional, get vulnerable, talk about like how you overcame your insecurities or gained confidence or got over like issues you used to have with food, something like that. But be really vulnerable and speak to the pain point of the people that you invited this month. So if you were having conversations with people throughout the month and you like were doing them correctly and actually talking to them and actually asking them questions, you should know their pain points and you should know some common ones. So you're going to take those pain points, and assuming these people are relatable to you because they're in your market here, so you're going to share a story about how you overcame one of those pain points. And get vulnerable, get emotional. Bonus points if you go live with it, that'll be even more effective. But you want to share that. So those things really, really help me at the end of the month. And the other thing I'll do, and this is something I'll do tonight, so after posting my objection post, is I will go back and I will follow up with every single person I invited this month and last month and the month before that. So objection post goes up first, because a lot of times when you message people, and especially those people from a few months ago, the very first thing they do is they look at your page. So if you're now publicly combating whatever their objection is right on your page, when they go to look at it, your conversation is going to go a lot differently with them. Okay, I don't know who wants to go next. Also, are there any questions in the chat? Sorry, it was blowing up. Just comments.
I just had one question.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to take notes and like put it on a little picture to post on the team page. You said 2 days before the end of the month you do the transformation photo. Was the story share the same day as that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Usually. Sometimes I'll start this process like 4 or 5 days before the end of the month. It depends. I like to do it on the weekdays. Like if that happens to fall on like a Saturday, I usually don't post it up on a Saturday because no one's really online reading posts on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But like anywhere from like a Sunday night on throughout the week. So if I started earlier, sometimes I'll spread them out to 2 different days. But if it's down to the last 3 days, like it is right now, I'll post them in the same day.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I need to get
Anita, do you want to go, or whoever?
Can somebody else go first? Because I have something in the oven. If I start talking, I'm going to forget and I'm going to burn it.
I have a question. Can someone hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Caroline,
Yeah.
can you switch the view, or do I have to do that? How do I get out of?
Whoever talks, it puts it on them, I think.
Oh, I
Oh,
wasn't doing that on my screen. Okay. Who is asking?
Avalon.
Okay.
So I had a question. When it comes to like the example of posting all that you spend on meals and food in comparison, say before you started this challenge, because that's what I did, I would sometimes eat healthy, but sometimes I would eat like fast foods. Would you include something like fast food, which is an unhealthy choice?
Yeah.
Results?
So you can basically, for one, like a fast food meal is the same price really as your shake is every day. So right there, you can just talk about that if that's the case. And you can say for the same price as I was paying for like a crappy fast food meal that wasn't making me feel good and wasn't doing anything good for my body. Instead, now I'm putting 70 plus like superfoods and just like an insane amount of nutrients back into your body. You know, so you could definitely compare it like that, because I think that's a good one to mention, because that's something a lot of people do. So it's super relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any questions? Does everyone have an objection in mind already that you've been hearing a lot this month?
Money.
Yes. Yeah. Time and money are usually the big ones.
Yeah, money.
It's funny. Money I always hear. This month, didn't hear it at all. Heard time though, like so many times.
I hear travel.
Travel.
Yeah, a lot
Oh,
of the
cool, because they can stream from their phone if they want, and they don't even have to have equipment. Perfect.
Yeah.
Gym comes with you.
Yeah.
And you can say, like, you don't stop brushing your teeth when you're traveling. That's a good one I like to use. Is Christy on here? Oh, yeah. Christy, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I can. I'm hiding what I'm doing so Carolyn can see it. But you don't know. Am I covering incentives or is Emmy? I am? Okay. So this part isn't something that everybody has to do because money does get involved, but I was joking earlier with everyone that's speaking that I should have a credit card at Five Below because I love getting little stuff. And so my favorite way to do like a spur of the moment, end of the month type of thing is to essentially raffle off something. So I've done like bundles where there's like a water bottle, a headband, and like a packet of Energize, and I'll put them in on the floor. So say there's like 3 bundles and it's like I'm looking for 3 people, and this is what I call them, prize packs, whenever I share them on social media, and like whoever signs up gets these prize packs and I mail them to them. Sometimes I've done because I have a Cricut and I personalize a lot of stuff, so like my 365er cup has my name on it. It has my acronym for my team name, and I personalize a lot of stuff too. I've personalized bottles. I've also raffled off like Amazon gift cards or any type of other. So if you can afford to, take maybe 10 to 20 bucks out of your pocket that you will get back because out of your commission, depending on, a coach sign up's $50, and then I think we get 40 for the all access pass and 50 for something else. So you're going to get your monies back if you're willing to invest, if you're desperate. And I really only do this. And there's been months where Brandon comes to me and he's like, why don't you do a raffle? I'm like, are you telling me to go to Five Below? Because I will. And so it really is my desperate favorite way to, and I have stuff stocked in my office. I have headbands, I have water bottles, I have tank tops. Five Below has so much stuff. Like you could walk out with a whole thing. If you don't have a Five Below around you, you could go to Walmart or something. Little things like that really aren't that expensive. And people's minds don't work the way that you would think they would. They were like, okay, I'm going to get a free tank top and a bottle. Let me spend $160 to get that. Right. I hoard everything. I have so much stuff. But like people just see, oh, I'm going to get something, or they're going to win something, or they like free stuff. So they're going to spend money to get free stuff. And so that's my tip. The $1 to $5. I think there's like a $1 to $5 section at Target. There's so much stuff that you can go out and get. Honestly, sometimes I spend more at the post office to send it to someone than I do on what I actually buy. But that's my tip. It's a desperate tip, but it works. I've done it many times where I've been really desperate. And next month is my 2-year coach anniversary, and I've never missed a month of Success Club, ever. I refuse to. It's non-negotiable. I am a stay-at-home coach. Stay-at-home dog mom is what I say. I'm a full-time coach, and I fully contribute that to the fact that I've never missed a month of Success Club, ever. So I don't care what you have to do. You have to pull it off. It's not something that you can just miss and then come back to it the next day. You got to do it. That's all I got. I'm going to go back to my project.
Okay, I can go now. Or is there somebody else going?
Go ahead. It's fine.
Okay. If I get really frozen up, let me know. I'm having like a ton of Wi-Fi trouble tonight. I have to keep like leaving the call and coming back because it's freezing. So just somebody let me know. So my biggest tip for Success Club at this time in the month is, and I normally do this probably 4 to 5 days, maybe even a week out from the very last day of the month, is I pretty much stop all new friend ads and new conversations and new invites if I am desperate to get my Success Club numbers up. I have yet to miss a month, and I think this is my 32nd or 31st month in a row of hitting it. I did miss it my second month as a coach ever, and I learned my lesson from that it was my third month. It was the month that would have earned me my free summit ticket. I missed it. I hit Success Club 4 because one person told me they were going to order and then they didn't. Actually, they did. Their credit card bounced or something. So I learned my lesson, which is to not rely on the bare minimum. You don't want to ever think, well, one person's ordering tonight, so I'm good and I can relax now and like have a glass of wine and watch Netflix. Like that's not how it works. You need to keep hustling because something will happen. Their credit card will not go through. So I learned my lesson, but I haven't missed it in 31 months in a row since then. But what I do is I pretty much, if I'm desperate, I also work my boyfriend's business. He is not yet at Success Club this month, so this is what I'm doing. I pretty much press pause on any new invites. And that is only because I know for myself, with 2 days left in the month, if I invite somebody tonight for the first time, I'll be lucky if they even see that invite by the 31st, much less respond, much less end up ordering. Just because people generally take a long time from your initial invite to actually end up ordering. So I go back to all the people I've already talked to, and I've been a coach for close to 3 years. So this is, I don't know, thousands of people probably, but I go back as far as I can. I'm talking to somebody right now who I started inviting in 2015. So if you've been a coach for a year or even a few months, you're going to have people to go back to. And what I do is you can go through your notes, you can go through your tracking system, you can go through however you keep track of people and find those old invites and just re-invite them and say something like, hey, I know it wasn't the time last time we talked for you, but I haven't forgotten about you. People really love it when you say that. I'm checking back in because you're still at the top of my mind for this, and I'm starting my new group. Wanted to see if now's finally the time. That's pretty much what I say. And another thing that I do, I wanted to show you guys really quick, so I'm going to share my screen, is I go through old coaching sneak peeks. So this is a current coach sneak peek we have, but I've been adding people to it for months and months. Are you guys seeing my screen? Okay. So you can go over here to members and see who was added, and it'll sort it several different ways. You can have it sorted by default or join date. And literally what I do is hit Control F and search for my name. And it's going to bring up all of the people that I added, because it tells you, I think it's actually automatically defaulting it to people I added because it's on mine, but it'll show you like I added her, and it'll show you the date. So I scroll through this list and I keep, I have a notepad and I'm jotting down names of people that I added 6, 7, 8 months ago. I also do this with sneak peeks that we had, I don't know, a year ago, but I'm going back to all those people. So that's kind of my method of finding people that I was talking to ages ago, and you can see it's a lot of people that I added to this. So if you've been a part of this for more than a month, you should have that backlog of people that you invited to things this time last month, and go back around to them and reinvite them. And that is pretty much what I do. I know I did that with 100 people last night. So odds are good somebody's going to say yes and somebody's going to be ready, especially combined with the suggestions Christy gave or the suggestions Lauren gave about posting. But that's my personal approach. I don't spend time forming new connections and relationships when it's crunch time, just because I know those people are probably not going to say yes in the next 48 hours. But the people I've already invited, it's, just kind of a ticking time bomb. Eventually they're going to be ready and say yes. So I'm going to go back and circle back around to them. And that is pretty much my main strategy. Does anybody have any questions or anything about any of this?
No, I just have 2 more to add before we let them go, and
okay.
I'm trying to keep them all on one thing so I can post it. So 2 things that haven't been mentioned. I wanted to wait and see what everybody else was going to say first. The first thing is, if you have challengers who are not coaches, you've asked them if they want to be a coach, they don't want to be a coach, but they're like getting results, they're loving the programs and everything, ask them for referrals. If they don't want to be a coach, I'm sure they've got friends who would benefit from being in the group. So ask them for a referral. Be like, hey, I don't know if you wanted to invite any friends to join us in the next round, but I'd love to help them. Do you happen to have any friends that would benefit from being a part of this group? And they can say, yeah, sure. I have my best friend, Susie. She would love to do this. And then what you can say is, awesome. Would you mind connecting you and I in a 3-way chat so we can talk? Or if you don't want to do a 3-way chat, just say, awesome. Just would you mind connecting the 2 of us? Or would you send me her Facebook link so I can reach out to her? Like, don't depend on them to reach out to you, because they probably won't. But asking for referrals is never a bad idea. And then the other thing, sometimes I've gotten like Success Club 6 off of one person, because they're just like, oh yeah, my friend wants to do it too. And then this friend wants to do it too. And I'm like, are you sure you don't want to be a coach? And they're like, no, I don't want to be a coach. I don't want to do that. I'm like, okay, are you okay? Then I'll take them. So definitely ask for referrals. And then the other thing, now that they switched the Success Club rules, in the past, you were only able to earn a certain number of Success Club points per person. Now that they switched the rules, you're able to earn 2 points per person every 6 months. So if you go back in your back office, you see who had ordered from you 6 months ago, if you've been around that long, reach back out to them and see if they would be interested in joining you in a group again. Because a lot of times what happens is they fall off, they cancel their HD. Just getting them back on Shakeology HD again would get you 2 points. Just getting them an all access challenge pack, if maybe in the past they didn't go for the all access, would get you 2 points. So that's mainly for those of you who've been around the block for quite a while and you have at least 6 months worth of people. But if you don't yet, that's something that you can keep in the back of your mind for in the future. But since the rules have changed, it's something that I think is a smart idea to do. So I just wanted to share that as well. Oh, and another one. You have family and friends. You can always ask for favors if needed. If it's the last day and it's the last minute and the last hour and it's either like, I'm going to hit Success Club or not, then you pull out all the stops. You ask your brother, you ask your mom, you ask your best friend, you ask your cat, or not really, but you know what I mean. Anyone who's willing to help you, anyone in your family, like you do whatever it takes to make it happen and to make it work. And the girls who are consistently hitting Success Club, because I have a list. Like, I know who's hitting Success Club every single month, who's hitting it consistently. I know that Emmy has hit 31 months in a row. Lauren has hit 29 months in a row. Christy's hit 22 months in a row. It's no surprise. Well, and myself, 41 months in a row. Never missed a month ever. Been a coach for 42 months, and this would be 42. No surprise to me at all that those girls who are consistently hitting Success Club every single month are some of the most successful coaches on this team right now. And I'm not saying that to like brag about them, but it's definitely correlated to your success as a coach, whether you're hitting Success Club consistently or not. So with that, we're going to spend the next 30 minutes and we're going to implement all the things that we've learned. Am I missing something, Christy?
Yeah. Do you want to mention the one person script? I think a lot of people would use. It doesn't really work for me, but it does work for, like Emmy says, it works really well for her too. So maybe somebody else could use it.
Yeah. Did you want to share that, Emmy?
Sure. Yeah, this is kind of in my bag of like last resort tricks, and I probably will do this tomorrow. I was going to do it tonight, but after hearing what Lauren said, I'm changing my plan a little bit. So the one person script is not really a script. It's actually something you post. And if you go to the Drive and you just use that search bar in the top and type in one person, it'll probably come up from that. That's how I always find it, to be honest. But so it definitely lives in the Google Drive somewhere. And this is literally, let me just see if I can pull it up. It basically is like a tiny little paragraph that you post. I would post it with a picture of yourself, a transformation picture preferably, but if not, then like a well-lit, smiling selfie that's going to stop people in their scroll. And I'm trying to find it as I talk. But yeah, so it's in the Drive in several different renditions. You can find it. But it basically says, and it's a last resort when you're looking for those last minute points. It says something like, I'm looking for one person, one amazingly awesome person who's sick and tired of being sick and tired. It goes through really briefly what you're going to offer, 30-day boot camp. This one person has to be willing. Like it has this written out. You can copy and paste it and post it. You can change it. I change it up a little because that's not the way I would write. But it basically ends with, if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Are you that one person? And I don't know why it works. I don't do it every month. But when I do post it, I always get comments. I think it makes it feel kind of like an exclusive thing, like, oh, I'm only taking one person, even though obviously I'm not. But I think it's some mental game and it makes people want in. And yeah, so you can try posting that. I wouldn't wait until an hour before the month is up. So you can kind of work that into Lauren's schedule. I don't know if she maybe has a suggestion of like when to post it within that framework, but just know that that's there in the Drive, and it has worked for me in the past. And if it doesn't work for January, it's at the least going to get you people interested who will sign up in early February.
Yeah. So my suggestion in that order, where I have placed the one person script really, and it's really been super effective before, is after my objection post. So doing your objection post, then doing the one person script. And I agree, like when I do it, I change it up a little bit as well to play to the pain points of the people that I'm speaking to. So if you're talking to people who like are yo-yo dieters and count calories and things like that, like you would want to say something about if you're sick and tired of counting calories, or, you know, like for me, I talk to a lot of people with confidence issues. So like I'll say sick and tired of feeling uncomfortable in your skin, that sort of thing. If you can use language that your audience uses and the type of language that they would use to describe their own pain points, that's going to be a lot more effective. So I would do objection post, and then your next post, whether that's tomorrow, well, it'll probably be tomorrow morning because it's late for most of you. Then your one person script, and then your transformation, and then your story share. So that your wall, like you're going to keep popping up as you're posting things that are getting engagement. Your posts are going to keep popping up for people. And you want to have your wall like set up so that when people click on your profile, so when you're messaging people and you're following up with people and they go back and they click on your profile, they're going to open it up and they're going to see this vulnerable story share and like a striking transformation. And they're going to see things that are speaking to them, and they're going to see that one person script in the midst of that, and it's going to feel like you are talking directly to them. So that's my suggestion for that.
Yeah, and I don't know if you girls have seen, but I posted Lauren's end of the month posting strategy, and I also posted tips for hitting Success Club. Like everything that everyone said, I put it on a little Canva image, and I posted it in the comments of the like tonight's call lineup post. So if you want to have that open on your computer while you're going through the next 30 minutes of this call and doing all of these things, then I think that's a good idea. But I just want to let you know that it's there for you guys. So if you didn't get to take notes, I did that for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. Plus it'll be a good resource like for the future. So just having it. All right, so I guess should we stop the recording so you can put some music on, or are we just going to be quiet and work? What are we going to do?
Whatever you want. We can stop the recording for sure.
Yeah.